Welcome, Exiles. Let's find out, is Harvest actually dead? And the answer is, kind of. It's kind of dead. Now, they put out a manifesto, GG did, talking about why they're changing, what they're changing about Harvest, and all the reasons and everything like that. You can go ahead and read if you want to. I'm not going to look at them. All we're going to look at here is what is actually changing, or what they're saying is changing, and they're saying this is the changes we're going to make. And to start off with, a real nut kicker is this one right here. It says previously every seed in the patch would grant an instance of that seed craft. So if you had something that said, hey, you're gonna have 10 fire seeds in this harvest, now you're getting far fewer, which by GGG standards, that probably means now you're getting like a third of the outcomes you used to get or something. So now with 10 fire seeds, you can expect 3 fire crafts, which means you're essentially never really gonna see the augment fire or the remove non-add fire. You're not gonna see it like at all. And this means you have to go to TFT even more than before, which was honestly the main problem of Harvest, in my opinion, is the reality that if you want to interact with Harvest in a way that helps your specific build or your specific items, you gotta go to TFT. You have to go to the Discord. They even mentioned that in this post. Is like one of the problems is going to the Discord. Here, let's make the good crafts even rarer. So that way, the only way of you finding the crafts you need is by reaching out to the Discord, where there's gonna be a million people or whatever, you know, not a million, but a ton of people pulling in the crafts you actually want. And so the Discord problem just got even worse right here in the first line here. After that, some mods that have overly deterministic behavior have been removed. These include all the annulment mods. So if you had a remove fire, remove cold, remove fizz, basically those and the remove add crafts, they're gone, they are dead. What is still alive is the crafts, the ones that remove a mod that isn't a specific type and then add a new mod of that type. Those are the remove non-add crafts. These crafts are still very, very powerful in my opinion, and are still gonna lead to some very powerful items. Just to name a few examples, Explode Chest, still on the menu, boys. If you wanna force on the Warlord attack mod, just do a non-attack, add attack. If you have full suffixes, guaranteed that's gonna take off one of the bad suffixes, put on the minus 15 mana cost. Still a really powerful craft. Putting on attack crit, putting on spell crit. There's a ton of things you can still do here. So, as far as I'm concerned, very, very powerful still, but you're going to have to go to TFT because you're never going to find it. So that's the downside there. And they also decided to get rid of all the divining crafts for specific types. This is basically a screw you to high-end people that want to craft a perfect mirror tier item and have it easily divined. I mean, whatever. It doesn't really affect most of us because they're still going to have lucky divine crafts, so you can still use those, which usually give pretty good outcomes. So for the person that's not really trying to make the mirror tier item with top perfect rolls, this probably doesn't affect you too much, but it is a little bit of a bummer. Now looking at the next line, we have crafts that add mods of a specific type, like Augment Fizz, Augment Caster, all those sorts of things. Those can only be applied to non-influenced items. What this means is basically if you're crafting an item to a high end, if you want to finish up an item like you want to augment on a resistance or something, you're still going to be able to do that for the most part. But when it comes to really high-end gear crafting, you're going to not be able to do it, basically. The only exception is the Augment Influence mod, which is still very powerful, and that's apparently staying in the game. So still a lot of power there for people who have the amount of money they're going to be able to afford buying that craft. But for the most of us, this means augments are a little dead if you want to actually kind of try to make your own high-end gear, because it's not happening. The chance of encountering a portal to the Sacred Grove has been increased by 60%, so that just means 60% more harvest, I guess. Except it doesn't really mean 60% more harvest, because the only way we find harvest anyway is through Zana, so I don't know if that affects Zana or not, but if it doesn't affect Zana, it's basically going to be the same as this league, which is basically you just farm Zana, and when you find Zana, occasionally you find a harvest, and then again they might nerf Zana farming with the, the Atlas passes. So we'll see about that one. That one's up for debate. And then the final improvement here I actually like, which is they made it so if you encounter Oshabi, you can say, screw running Oshabi. That's my baby in the background, by the way. He doesn't like Oshabi, obviously. You have a fragment now. You can go and sell it to somebody else who wants to run Oshabi. So they can waste their time. Suckers. Now, out of all these things, the thing I'm most disappointed about here is the fact they didn't address the Discord problem at all. They just made the Discord problem worse. They made it so it's harder to find the crafts you're going to want to find. And then on top of that, we still have a 10 craft limit, which basically means within about 3 harvests or so, I'm going to start finding cool crafts I want, and then I'm going to have to start deleting them, or I'm going to have to stop the entirety of what I'm doing and find an item to craft, because I can't play the game now. I have to stop and craft this item, because I have a 10 crafting bench limit. Get rid of the limit, okay? The limit's stupid. It makes everyone mad, I think. I don't know. It might be a debatable opinion. Maybe somebody likes having a 10 crafting limit, so that way they're forced to stop doing the game to play Harvest. Because there's still going to be arguably really good crafts to use on it, and I'm still going to feel bad and feel in a predicament when I get those good crafts and I have to get rid of one to put in another one, or I feel like I have to go to TFT to sell them to get the value out of the crafts I've found previously, because I'm limited to having 10 crafts and I can't hold on to more. I say get rid of the limit. It's not helping anyone. It's just making the TFT problem much, much worse than it needs to be. After all that said, I'm not the game developer. I'm just a kid who plays the game, and I like it a lot. So let me know what your guys' hot takes are about this change to Harvest. Is Harvest dead in your opinion? Is it still alive? Is there still hope? Do you have any solutions for the TFT problem? For myself, I was thinking, what could we do to save the TFT problem? My thought in my brain was make the account or the item that people trade to you, or when you craft on an item, make it account bound for 5 minutes. That means if people are going to trade it on TFT, they have to wait 5 minutes every time they go to somebody on a Discord to sell their craft or something. If you want to limit the crafting process, you want to make Discord not a thing, do something like that. That way you can give us a crafting bench limit that's not 10 or something higher. Maybe you can feel we have that power enabled to us. Or make it beastiary tradable, something like that. Just if you want to get rid of the TFT trading, do something about it. Don't make it even more necessary to go to TFT to actually get the crafts you need. I don't know. That's my hot take on the whole issue. Either way, I'm probably still going to be excited for the next league. I'm still going to have a lot of fun with it, but this is a big bummer, especially for the more casual players who now have a much harder time of crafting the gear they want if they want to do it in some level of budget, I would imagine. As always, I appreciate you guys watching the video. Have a good one. Peace out.